From gods to algorithms, humanity's pursuit of meaning and control. Throughout history, humans have grappled with questions about existence, suffering, and the forces that shape their lives. In the face of ignorance, uncertainty, and existential dread, they created gods, beings of immense power that could explain what was otherwise incomprehensible. But gods were not just answers, they were tools. Religions codified these divine ideas, and in doing so became systems of order, control, and power. Today, artificial intelligence has begun to fill a similar role, a seemingly omniscient force, created by humans whose power is both revered and feared. As with gods of old, AI not only represents the pursuit of knowledge, but also the consolidation of power. This video explores how religion and AI serve parallel functions in shaping human society, especially in their roles as instruments of authority and control. The invention of gods and the birth of religion. The earliest organized religions emerged in tandem with the first complex societies. In Mesopotamia, Egypt, and later in the Indus Valley in China, gods were closely tied to natural forces and social structures. Early deities represented the sun, rain, fertility, and death, phenomena early humans could not explain, but depended upon. But more than explanations, these gods demanded obedience. Religious institutions evolved as extensions of political authority. In ancient Egypt, the pharaoh was seen as a god-king, divinely sanctioned to rule. The Code of Hammurabi, circa 1754 BCE, one of the first written legal codes, claimed that the Babylonian king received laws directly from Shamash, the sun god. In medieval Europe, the divine right of kings justified absolute monarchy with theological backing. Religion was the ideological backbone of the state. Religions enforced moral codes, legitimized power structures, and established social hierarchies. The Catholic Church in Europe, for example, amassed immense wealth and influence for over a millennium, often controlling monarchs themselves. Theocracies in Islamic caliphates, Hindu empires, and Buddhist kingdoms similarly intertwined spiritual and political power. As Karl Marx famously observed, religion was not only the opium of the people, a balm for suffering, but also a tool of the ruling class. Religion as information management and psychological control. Religious authority historically managed information, controlling narratives about the cosmos, morality, and social behavior. Until the invention of the printing press in the 15th century, the Catholic Church monopolized biblical texts, often keeping them in Latin to limit lay comprehension. Knowledge was mediated by clergy, and questioning religious doctrine could lead to excommunication, imprisonment, or death, such as in the case of Giordano Bruno, who was burned at the stake in 1600 for heretical cosmological ideas. The power of religion thus extended not only through the sword, but through the mind, shaping what people could believe, fear, or imagine. This was not always malicious. Religion also offered community and purpose, but the concentration of power it enabled was undeniable. Artificial intelligence, the new oracle. Enter artificial intelligence. While science has gradually eroded the explanatory monopoly of religion, AI represents something new, a tool not only for knowledge, but for decision-making, prediction, and control. As AI systems become more capable, they increasingly assume functions that once required human judgment, often with little transparency or accountability. AI systems today determine who gets a loan, who gets hired, which news people see, and even how long someone might go to prison, as in the controversial Compass algorithm used in US courts. These systems are trained on vast datasets, operate behind opaque algorithms, and are often described in terms that echo religious mysticism, black boxes, superintelligence, and machine sentience. Like religion, AI requires belief, though now in the infallibility of data and the neutrality of algorithms. In reality, AI reflects human biases, priorities, and power structures. As the scholar Kate Crawford writes in Atlas of AI 2021, quote, AI is neither artificial nor intelligent. It is made from natural resources, human labor, and real-world data, and it encodes the ideologies of those who build it. AI and the new priesthood. Just as religion had its priesthood, AI has a technocratic elite. A small number of companies, Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, Meta, and a few others, control the development of the world's most advanced AI systems. These corporations effectively decide what kinds of intelligence are built, who gets access, and how they are used. This concentration of power is unprecedented. In the same way that medieval clergy mediated access to God, today's engineers and corporate executives mediate access to AI. Governments, too, have begun leveraging AI for control. In China, facial recognition and predictive policing systems monitor and regulate public behavior. Western democracies use similar tools for surveillance under the banner of national security. The public is rarely consulted or even informed. Like the inscrutable will of gods, the functioning of these systems is hidden behind technical complexity and corporate secrecy. The persistence of a pattern. Across millennia, the pattern remains. Faced with uncertainty, humans create systems, whether they be divine or digital, to restore order. These systems promise knowledge, predictability, and salvation, but they also become instruments of control, concentrating power in the hands of those who manage them. AI may not be a god in the metaphysical sense, but in practical terms, it increasingly occupies the same space in our psychological and political landscapes. It is a source of awe and anxiety, a new kind of authority that demands trust without transparency, reverence without understanding. AI as God 2.0. From the storm gods of Mesopotamia to the algorithmic gods of Silicon Valley, humanity has always sought answers, and in doing so has often built tools that become masters. Religion offered community, explanation, and control. AI offers automation, optimization, and surveillance. Both emerge from the same human desire to make sense of the chaos and assert some degree of mastery over it.
But just as old gods could be reinterpreted, resisted, or dethroned, so too can AI be questioned and reshaped. The future will not be dictated by machines unless we allow it to be. The critical task ahead is to ensure that our latest god serves humanity, not the other way around.